All right, everyone. I'm gonna just go ahead and check and make sure we are live.
Is it on Caribbean Diaspora?
We have streamed onto Caribbean Diaspora Vibes, but I'm going to be switching it over. Just check and make sure we are live. Yes, we are live. So I'm gonna be switching it over to Caribbean American Diaspora and Caribbean Rhythms Radio Network. So Lewis, if you'll go ahead and kick us off.
Yes, and we want to welcome each and every one of us, all our viewers and listeners from across the world today. And we are giving thanks. Today is the 14th day of July. And we have some weather. We have some weather kicking up. We had a pretty decent first part of the day, but the weather kicks in. And for those of us, excuse me, in the Central Florida area, buckle up because there's more coming. But we want to
Oh, yeah.
welcome each and every one of us, all our visitors from across the world. We welcome you to the Central Florida area, the tourist capital of the world, wherever you are. And all our panel this evening, we're looking forward to talk to everyone, all the CRRFM radio. Wagwan, Donna.
Yes, big up, Lois. We have definitely been experiencing some interesting, that's what I call it, interesting weather patterns.
Yes.
Well, actually, technically we are in hurricane season,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yes,
That's
we are.
June.
Let's be real about it. We are.
Mhm. So, Florida weather. We love our Florida, but the weather can be beautiful. And then 30 minutes, we've got severe thunderstorm, lightning strikes like no other. And then it goes back to just,
Mhm.
just
Like
amazing
nothing
weather.
happened.
And nature is just like life. I always try to say, if we just look at nature, how nature just, one day it'll be sunny, beautiful, and for a few days, then lightly cloudy, then it can get thunderstorms, and then it goes back. We cycle, we cycle. And sometimes life is like that, just we just go through it. This too shall pass. So tonight
Awesome.
we are so thankful to have Tashawn Davis with us again.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
Thank you for
yes,
she
having me. Thank you for
she's
having me.
been super busy
yes.
informing the community, educating us all over throughout the community on what I call the pandemic of high glucose and insulin resistance. And a lot of times people don't hear these words or they don't focus on it until they've been diagnosed with something like type 2 diabetes or some kind of chronic disease, right?
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
and I'm so glad that we are bringing more awareness, especially to this particular issue because it leads to so many different things,
Yes.
right? As we do research, it leads to your hormones being not balanced. It leads to obesity. It leads to cardiac, gut, heart, liver, lung, metabolic health. I don't think people understand how far this thing stretches with the inflammation and and all these things like that. So um I'm glad that we've been talking about it and continue to talk about it. And we're also incorporating tips into our personal life. I know for the past year for I've been stricter with my intermittent fasting and seeing amazing results from that, just intermittent fasting. But we've got to change our diet. It's a lifestyle. We just got to know we've got to change our lifestyle, and let's not wait till we get really bad news from the doctor before we do so. So again, we're going to kick off with this beautiful queen, and she's going to tell us about who she is and just what she can share with us about this pandemic, because it's affecting too many people around in the US, in the Caribbean, in Africa, around the world. All right. So
Yes.
thank you, Tashawn. So we'll
Thank
have
you for
you
having me.
introduce yourself and then just
And
Let's go
may I
for it.
just jump in, Donna? Let me just jump
I was gonna
in.
say, Louis, you want to introduce me?
Yeah. Let me just jump in and just say, Wagwan, Wagwan.
Wagwan. That's right. That's right. Wagwan. I've been learning that over the past weeks already.
Yeah, it's the last 14 weeks. Donna, let me
Uh-huh.
just, and everybody, let me just tell you about a sweet woman of God that really blessed the studio, blessed your presence there on the face and the Zoom, Donna. And we took her in here and she came, adopted, and just be a part of the CRR network for 14 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you something. My life has just totally changed. And I want to give that testimony before she opened her mouth. She was my
All glory
co-host
to
for
God.
14 weeks, really counseling, really guiding me and pushing me and saying, you got to get this moving. You got to be sugar free. You got to get rid of that sugar, Lewis. You got to stop taking up those food, those carbs that does not make sense for your temple. She keeps saying it every single week. And let me tell you, with two of the books, this is one of the two books that she wrote before she get on, up, uprooting the craving in me. And Donna, let me tell you something. When she came here 14, 15 weeks ago, I was up and down between 300, 400. Sometimes my meter don't even read nothing. It just said I. My sugar is high. And let me tell you something. Today, for the last couple of weeks, I have been between 80 and 190. I have not
That's
been taking
wonderful.
my insulin for days now.
For days, no insulin.
For days now, I have not been taking any
Wow.
insulin because I'm
Yes.
watching
My star
everything there.
students. I
And I,
love
I,
that.
I thank you so much for your knowledge, your wisdom, your steadfastness. And sometimes then I should just check me and I say, what you want to do? She just check me straight up, What is
Yeah,
it?
he's
What do you
pounded the
want to
tables too
achieve?
many times,
And I
made me
love it.
nervous.
Love it. Love it. Thank you and welcome, my dear. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you for updating me. Yeah,
Yes.
I heard from you
Yes.
last week. You said you were doing well. We had to leave you when your wife was going out of town, and me and Michelle was
Yes.
like,
No,
we're
she
not sure if
cooked.
he's capable of being left alone yet.
Yeah, no, she cooked for the whole week that she left. She makes sure I'm eating cauliflower, lots of meat and cauliflower rice and all these things. She said, "No, you are staying with it," and I really appreciate her support. She is a big help
Yes.
up until today to my success or
Wow.
on my way to succeeding in defeating this disease inside my body.
Yes,
Amazing.
it's really good to have that support. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing like it. So I'm so glad that your wife is on board with you. And she's a registered nurse too, but
Yes, yes.
a lot of my clients are doctors, nurses, and things like that because we don't know what we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been taught, even as nurses, standard American diet, ADA, heart healthy diet. And when we kicked off a metabolic health tour this past Sunday, and one of the things we did was a demonstration to show you if you do the American Heart Association, this is how much sugar you just put in your body. I mean, according to the American Diabetic Association, it's not they're following the rules. A lot of people are, but it's not the right guidelines. So I'm Tashawn Davis. I'm a holistic health coach. I have been a nurse for 20 years. I started this journey with learning about insulin resistance and metabolic health because I was losing my memory in my 30s. And so I went on a journey to find out what is going on. So not only that, excuse me, 1 minute.
And Tashawn barely looks when she gets back. I'm gonna you barely look 20. You said you've been a nurse for
Right.
Oh,
I
thank
know,
you.
right?
Yeah, I've been a nurse for 20 years, 20 years this year, 21
Mhm.
years.
Wow.
So yeah, and that, yeah, in my 30s. And so I'm like, well, what is it? Because not only that, I was suffering with UTIs, yeast infections, my skin was all messed up. And so what I did, I went to the library, checked out every book on physiology. I needed to know why I was a vegetarian way. I tried vegan. I was raw vegan, doing all the things. And, somehow I started losing my memory. And so I'm like, I got to dig deeper. But that's when I found out that some clinicians were calling dementia type 3 diabetes. And I said, okay, why? And why, and why, and why, until I got to the root of it. Something called insulin resistance. Okay, why didn't we learn about that in school? Like, why don't I know about this? And I continued on from there and been helping people reverse their type 2 diabetes. My goal is to reverse 1 million in my lifetime. So as
Amen.
much as I
Amen.
can get out there
Woo! Yes. Love it.
and educate people,
Yes.
that's what I'm doing. And
Yes.
what breaks my heart the most is I have a nephew who is tube fed. And if y'all have ever looked at tube feeding, Similac, even coffee creamers, it's like they all look the same. It's like, what is this? Is this even food? Because it's like soybean oil, vegetable oil, high fructose corn syrup, all of that. So I am hoping that I know I will have the opportunity because there's a need and God is saying meet this need. So as people come into my life and everything, I want to create another formula. It's called enteral feeding. So I want to create another formula that people who are sick, they won't be drinking these Boost, Ensures, even baby food, whatever I can do, because this is making us sicker. We're getting sick from the get-go. When my children couldn't drink regular milk, they were put on that soy milk. And for a male, soy is not good for the hormones. And so, what else can I do? And I look and I'm like, there's still not anything in this category that's reasonable that can be presented to the public. So, that's another part of me reversing these, 1 million type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, getting to the source, helping the hospitals and helping the people who are already sick because they tell them drink the Boost, drink the Ensure, and take these tube feedings that have horrible ingredients in them. And so that's me. I just want to get the word out. So we're doing free at the library again. I'm going to do a 6-week intensive training with some people, only a certain cohort. I'm going to take 25 people at one time through 6 weeks, and we're going to dig deep. We're going to go from like paleo all the way to intermittent fasting, but we're going to do it a little bit at a time together so that people can learn, understand, know, and really get a foundation so that you'll never go back. I want to help people make informed healthcare decisions because there's too many people out there that he say, that she say, my best friend did it, my uncle did it. And it's like, who do I believe? They got better. Yeah, they got better, but why? You need to know if you go and start to do something, why? Why are you doing it? What does physiology say about this? Did you know that you should only have 1 teaspoon of sugar floating around in your body at any given time? Why? Why don't you want all of that stuff? So that's my goal, to just educate and give the why. That's why I do the podcast too.
Amen.
Tashawn, you mentioned the American diet um, 50 years ago. And if you see I think it was around 50 years ago,
About 40,
because
yeah.
yeah, because back then, we didn't have this epidemic. And so when that was introduced, eating some, what, 6, 7 servings of carbs per
Like 10 or
day.
12. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
And
low fat.
and then low fat. So all of that and people are now finding out that Harvard scientists were actually paid to agree
Hmm.
with this study. So we have to understand that in the bigger picture that this was intentional because it's created the perfect storm for sickness. So if you think about all these years that we're just thinking we need all the carbs for fuel, and people, you're eating bread, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, go to any dinner right now. The first thing you get is nice, fresh bread, right?
bread or crackers. I
We're,
learned that
and
going
we're
through
just eating
I'm
and
like, what are you
eating.
giving me these packed crackers for?
We're eating the pancakes and the waffles first thing, and the even orange juice, a lot of high in sugar. As soon as, we're just eating throughout the day, a lot of process. That's the thing. We switch from homegrown, especially for us in the Caribbean, we switch from that homegrown food to process because it's quicker. So we got the right rice and everything, flour, pastries. I mean, so year after year, so you're fine year after year after year, and then bam. I mean, I'm finding out now too that fibroids for women, the baseline is high glucose and insulin resistance. Who would have known? Fibroid that's causing so much, issue, especially with Black women.
Yep.
Menopause symptoms, severe menopause symptoms. Now we see every commercial, and it's just women going through like extreme hot flashes, right? And not understanding that high glucose is a
Yeah.
factor. So it's this hidden factor. Men, erectile dysfunction, prostate, foamy urination, all these things.
Yeah.
It's because of this glucose. So
Yeah.
sometimes we think, well, I don't have diabetes, right? So I'm good. But there's so many other things that it's circling and creating and it's causing a serious problem. And I'm so glad that there are people, especially in your field, that's taking the time to say, well, hey, we can reverse this, we can reduce it or reverse it, and we don't need and you're medical, but we're not doctors. So we always say that we cannot tell you what to do. You always consult your doctor, but there are ways that you teach, I write about all the time that this is reversible. This is not a
Absolutely.
life sentence that we thought that, oh, well, it runs in the family. Like
Yeah.
automatically, like it's
Nope.
because the same poor
Habits.
lifestyle runs in
Hmm.
the family, the poor eating, right?
Exactly.
The fatty or the high carbs diet runs in the family and is passed down. Do you ever sometimes see a family and you see the whole family and everybody looks similar? It's
Like a
because
like a
this, yeah,
like a
it's
circle.
because the everybody's eating the same
Food.
What they're
Yeah.
thing.
doing. Yeah.
So
And they
there
don't.
is hope.
Hmm.
So Tashawn, tell us some tips, or whatever you can as far as bringing glucose levels down.
Yeah. So
Or
I
or or,
love.
or even explain for some people that don't even glucose and versus insulin resistance, for example.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, you all the things you named, h- how it begins is I often see high blood pressure. A lot of people say, I don't have a problem with blood sugar, I have high blood
Mhm.
pressure. That's one of
Mhm.
the first things that's an indicator a lot of times of insulin resistance. Because whenever you have that high blood pressure, you're actually having a kidney issue as well. The
Mhm.
insulin is interfering with your kidneys. Aldosterone is the hormone that tells your body to hold on to water or release it. And so, oftentimes, it's that aldosterone that's off. And so, it's causing you to have more pressure because you're not able to, because it's just not working right. And so, it's inflammation. And then from there, you see them, okay, I'm pre diabetic. And then all of a sudden, which if you've ever heard me speak, I don't believe there's a such thing as pre-diabetics because you said often years before, you can find out that you're going to have a problem with diabetes 10 years before if you
Mhm.
take a test called fasting insulin, not A1C, not blood sugar, insulin. And it will tell you the amount of insulin that is in your body. But
Yes.
no doctors do that on a regular routine. They tell you your sugars. And even with those, if you come in and your sugar is like 160, 170, and they're like, oh, you're fine, they need to like, I will be saying, why is your sugar? what is your diet? Because I seen that your sugar had a little bump in it, at this visit. What are you eating? We need to be better detectives and ask better questions and start with the diet instead of automatically, I'm gonna just put you on some metformin just in case, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just give you a little bit of this here just in case. Or even if you come in, I have bad indigestion. Why? What are you eating? What are you doing? Instead of saying, here's some Prilosec. A lot of
Right.
people don't know that you get these medications. I just did an episode on my podcast and wondering why you're losing your memory. These medications reduce the amount of B12 in your gut and you can't absorb it well, so your memory is going to be affected from the medication that's for acid. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have acid reflux, it's not because you have too much acid, it's because you don't have enough. And that causes your valve to reflux and then the acid comes up. So all of these things are connected, and we can't seem to put them together because we want to have an allergist over here and an allergist over there, and nobody's talking. And like maybe this could be insulin resistance because all of these symptoms are adding up to be that. So what is insulin resistance? Think of so a type 2 diabetic has insulin resistance. A type 1 diabetic, their body doesn't make enough insulin, so you can get away with not using as much insulin if you went low carb and low sugar. But if you have type 2 diabetes, you have too much insulin. And your cell here, your body, and this is insulin, the key to unlock that cell so that energy can be used. But the problem is if you have a whole bunch of energy and all of that in this cell, then the cell is like, I'm not letting you in. And so now you have insulin kind of everywhere, and I say it wreaks havoc. And then when you have an excess amount, it's like from sugar and carbohydrates that you eat, your body turns that sugar and carbohydrates into fat and often stores it behind the liver. And that's how we get fatty liver.
Liver.
And so many people think I got it. Actually, they're never told when they are told they have fatty liver that this is what it's from. It's the excess amount of sugar and carbohydrates that has to be stored somewhere after insulin already wrecks everything else. And so it's like now, you're storing this, you have fatty liver. The good thing about it though, is studies have shown if a person goes like on a ketogenic diet, within 2 weeks, you can reduce fatty liver by half. And so imagine staying on it, your fatty liver is gone. We did an interview with Lewis, and Lucy. And Lucy came on and she was talking about, I coached her as well, how her prescription glasses have changed. Now her prescription, she doesn't, it's too strong for her. So she had to get new glasses, a fungal infection that she had. She had the blood sugars, her A1C went from like 13 down to 6 something. Like everything changed from her
Yes, that's true.
reducing her carbohydrates, her
Mhm.
sugar, eating ketogenically, and eventually, getting to the fasting. So sometimes we do want to go off and do a lot of things right away, but we do have to be individual. Like I still low carb and low sugar, of course.
Yes.
But whenever you do that and you're eating enough fat, and that's the missing piece too, a lot of times is especially women, we need to eat more healthier fat for our hormones. Hormones are cholesterol, all of that that's how you build your hormones. And so if you're avoiding that, then you may be missing the exact link that you need to get your hormones right. Um, but you wanna have that. Uh, you were talking about also the premenopause, perimenopause, and
Mhm.
that's like a
Mhm.
big buzz thing right now. I'm like,
Yes.
it's all
Yes.
still the same. But whenever a person goes low carb, low sugar, ketogenic, what happens is like if you're still menstruating or whatever, it comes and you're like, oh my God, like you don't even know. Even if you had horrible premenstrual syndromes in the past, you now it'll come and you'll be like, uh-oh, I didn't know it was coming. So
Right.
because you
Right.
don't have those symptoms anymore because your hormones are already regulated. And
Mhm.
so it's you just becoming aware. Like this is all connected. It's
Yes.
not one thing. It's not here over here. It's my heart. No, your heart is affected because you have chronic inflammation going on and you need to get that inflammation down. We've talked about it before. For every 1 gram of carbohydrates, your body holds on to 4 grams of water. That's why when a person also goes ketogenic or whatever, they're going to lose 10 to 15 pounds within that first week. It's water weight. The inflammation is coming down. Your body's finally saying, thank God we can get a break. And so
Yeah.
now it's going to first remove all of that water so that you can begin to heal. And that's why you have to stick on it, because after that, that's when the magic begins to happen. A
Mhm.
lot of people can't get to that point though, because sugar is addictive. It's very addictive, and they need to learn how to work through the withdrawal symptoms. They call it keto flu or whatever. You need to learn how to work through those withdrawal symptoms. How do you do that? You have to add salt and electrolytes, which is so against, right? What I'm telling
Mhm.
you, eat healthy fat and use salt. But if you don't, you may not make it through those 2 weeks because it's going to be hard.
Mhm.
So there's certain things that you do. You reduce the carbohydrates and sugar um, down to about 50 per day. And then while you're doing that in the beginning, you go ahead and add your salt and stuff, um, eat, and then eventually your body will tell you what to do next. But just
Yeah.
learn how to eat first, because in the beginning, you need to regulate your hormones.
Right.
You need to, your ghrelin and leptin, one tells you you're full, one tells you you're hungry. We have
Yes.
to re-regulate those because they don't know what to do. They never knew if they was hungry or full, because whenever you eat empty calories, your
Right.
body doesn't perceive that as having had any food. And actually, if you're eating something that's empty calories, it has to pull from your own body and it will deplete your own vitamins and stuff, and it will make you feel even worse.
Yeah.
Every 2 hours, you're searching for a fix, new food.
So,
There's,
Tashawn, you're telling people that work is involved, like personal. So again, personal accountability and
Yeah.
responsibility, right? And I think that's why human beings on a norm will just take a pill
Yes.
because
It's a fix.
people in general don't like to make change and they don't like to give up. It's a sacrifice to say, okay, now I'm not going to eat all of this, the pancakes and the this and the that every day. So they'll just take the pill. Some, I swear, some people will just
Or the
take the,
shot, the GLP-1s, the
yes,
shot. That's the biggest question I get asked. I'm like, I can give you certain foods that act like a GLP-1, but
yes.
work with me, because you people want to take a little bit from over here. She said this, and a little bit from over here. They said this, they're doing this. I'm like, work with one person or
Hmm.
listen to one person and do the one thing
Yes.
first and see how that works, and then move on to the next. But yeah, because I make it super simple. Like, you don't have to be counting all of that stuff. Just do the thing that I'm telling you to do right now, and I promise you it will get better.
And
And
sometimes it's good to share um pictures. Sometimes I'll post pictures of to even to my family. What does a low carb and sugar, diet look like? So like for us, right? So it may look like some curry chicken and
mhm.
some steamed cabbage, right?
Right.
And
It's good
broccoli
food. I
like
want
that,
some right now.
right?
Sound good to
And
me. Some oxtails, give me some.
but yeah, so again, the so people so we need carbs, but healthy, like what was it? Cauliflower, like Lewis's,
Yeah, cauliflower
cauliflower,
mac. Yeah. Vegetables
cabbage.
have carbs in it, but
Y-
above ground, not root
Yeah,
vegetables. Yeah.
yeah. So
Because
good.
you're going to
So
get those. Yeah.
so good stuff. But so we have been spoiled again with all the processed, refined carbs and sugar. Eliminate it as much as possible. That's first thing. And again, like Tashawn says, you got to relearn. You
Yeah.
got to relearn because this has been a way of life for you for all these years, right? Because really, the American Diet, the association or whatever it's called, just switched it. So remember, we
Yes.
started out where it was all these carbs was like the highest. Now 50 years later,
Turn it
after all
upside down.
the damage
Yes.
is done, people are now hooked to this way of eating, and now they're saying it's backward. And people have died. People have literally died from
Yeah.
complications of
That's what's sad.
diabetes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very
Foot
something so
cut off.
preventable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Lois,
that's what gets me.
I-
Yep.
if, yeah, if I may jump in here for a second, as I keeps calling you doctor, you're gonna get there one day, nurse.
Unless they do it honorary, because I'm not doing all of that red tape. I'm like, I
Yeah,
learned all
yeah,
of this to throw it away.
yeah.
Yes,
But,
Tashawn, you're going to do it.
but
Listen,
you have
I'm keeping
to
my coins.
you have to put in the work. The work is important. You have to be intentional about not having sugar, not eating the carb, staying away from it. Because let me tell you, you have two voices there say, pick up that, just take a little piece of it. No
Put on
problem.
each shoulder,
You'll be
right?
okay. Yeah, you'll be okay. Just take a little bit and don't worry about it and eat. And let me tell you something, it's a battle. It is a battle that you have to win. And one of the things, Nurse Davis, that I like with your program, I love with your program, is that you intermix it with faith and divineness and godliness in it, because that is so true. And I'm looking on a passage, I start reading the book now because I think reading the book and getting your after spending time with you now, getting in the book. One of the things that I like with what your program is about is that divineness. You have to pray. You have to understand and know that this is a temple. And you also make sure that you are, whatever you're doing is taking care of the temple. And here is one section in the book. Freedom doesn't come from a plan, it comes from consistency. What feel hard a day, it have to become a new normal for you. Whatever you're doing, you have to change and create that new normalcy within yourself. Here's another part. This isn't a diet. It is a return to your design self, a return to your design self. So once you're doing these things and you're hearing these words coming to you based on your presentation, based on what you're saying, not just stop, but this is you returning to your divine self. This is you returning to your original self. When we were created, we did not created to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are only created to eat average 1 to 2 meals a day, and the rest we fast and look after our kingdom, our temple. And so I like that, and I think if people take it from that light, they will do well. Self-control, as you and I talk about, the biggest thing about this change is self-control, and I commend you on that.
That's true. And you have to do that.
Yeah,
People want God to do it for you, but you have to be the one to take those steps toward it. It's good to do hard things. You
absolutely.
won't go into the gym and lift a little 5 pound dumbbell and be like, that's it. I'm done. And then come back next week. That's it. I'm done. You want to build, build, build. And a muscle has to break down in order for you to rebuild it. And everything we do is a muscle. If y'all are entrepreneurs, building your business, even learning the word of God, whatever it is, it's a process and you can do it, build upon it, do hard things, going to school, learning all of that. And then also not coming in knowing everything. I remember in nursing school, I used to, I was, because I'm a nerd, I wanted to go in there. I'm like, I don't know nothing. And I wanted to try to learn, look ahead and all of that. And and then feeling like I was behind, but then I realized, wait, I have to learn this stuff. I have to go through it and I have to learn it. And the best thing one nurse would tell me is, you don't know what you don't know. And it took the stress off of me to
Yes,
be able to release and to learn something new without having to feel like I'm already behind or I'm too old. I mean, I went back to nursing school in my 20s, but I thought I was too old because I had 4 kids by then already. So
Mhm.
it was like, just being willing to take that first step. If you do not start, you'll never know if you can finish. So just take that first start so
absolutely.
that you can see that you can go forth and then take the next step and then the next. So it might look like I'm no longer drinking sugary drinks. That Arizona iced tea has to go. I know we love our tea down here. I'm in the South now, but I'm from Michigan. I wasn't a
Mhm.
big tea drinker, but I hear that people love their iced tea. So get rid of the ice, do unsweetened, and flavor it with monk fruit instead, or try drinking it without. You know, if that's the first thing you can do, do that first thing, and then cut your carb that you're eating on your plate in half.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, y'all can do harder things. I had a lot of my clients were Puerto Rican, and the first thing people tell me, she ain't 70 years old, she ain't getting rid of her rice. Man, people just like Lewis, he was like, cauliflower rice is fine. He brought us food, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's this? Is that mashed potatoes? No, that's cauliflower mashed potatoes. Is that right? No, that's
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't miss it. Like seeing
Yes.
people get their life back. One of the ladies that I coached, one of the harder ones, the daughter swore she wasn't gonna follow the plan. She ain't gonna do it. She not gonna do it. And I could only teach her like maybe two or three times, and I had to go because this was on my job. And so I do admissions. I open the patients, and then I pass them on to someone else. But then I don't work for home care anymore. I'm independent now. But I get a text message a little while ago. Mom just went to Universal Studios with us. She hasn't been anywhere and she's been following the plan perfectly. So even if you have a loved one that you think will not do it and you know this loved one needs it, if they have dementia, if they have chronic UTIs, diabetes, pre-diabetes, fatty liver, high blood pressure, even congestive heart failure, give it a try because you never know. Like I had thought that people, once they got past a certain age, they're not going to want to hear me talk about this. But I think my oldest client was like 90 something years old. He was like, I want to do whatever it takes. I want to let it be 110. What do you mean? But doctors dismissed them. Like,
Mhm.
you can do what you want to do. You don't have to do any of this. Like, but what if I live another 10 years and I have diabetes? That means that your kidneys could start to fail. You could lose your feet, your vision. Like, what kind of quality of life you want? Is this eating whatever you want better than having this quality of life? My
Yes.
patients tell me I'm 61. I feel like I'm 31. I think that was the last thing you said, Louis. Like, I feel so young now and
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Energy is back. Like, wouldn't you want that instead of just putting along? And then you never know how good you can feel until you feel better. We
Yeah.
have to try just one step at a time. It's going to be hard, good. Do hard things.
I think
Mhm.
this is new to people again with the because people follow government, right? Like
Right.
and if the
They don't think
government's
they do though, but they do
right,
subconsciously. Yeah.
right. So if they think that I'm following what they told me to eat and the doctor says, well, as you get old, these things happen, it runs in the family. So this awareness on this issue is recent. It's very recent and so people and it kudos to people like you also in the medical, especially because individuals like myself, we can talk about it all day long, but for you guys to be able to kind of go against the grain to say, there's other option, don't just run and take this meds and things like that. That's boldness, right, for you. So God bless you for being able to stand up while you're in the field. But so people are now just starting to realize that, wow, like what? You mean I could just change, like you said, change, reduce the carbs. That's
Yeah.
it. So what does that look like? What does breakfast look like? So, tell us, what does breakfast look like? And then what is lunch and dinner if people want to eat 3 meals? I only eat 2 meals on a norm, and because I do intermittent fasting between either 11 and 7 or sometimes 12 to 6. So that's me. But what
Yeah.
is that breakfast if someone wanted to continue breakfast
And I
keto
would say,
friendly?
yeah, I would say start off eating, just learn how to eat first before you try to do it all. Because if you're coming off of a high carbohydrate diet, then it's going to be hard to fast at first
Yeah.
because you're going to be hungry and you're going to end up, going back to that way. You're
Mhm.
going to end up not being able to do the fast and your body's stressing out and all of that. Um, Deeper into my program, we talk about how do you do a good stress, and
Mm-hmm.
that might be it. But bacon, I don't do turkey bacon, so bacon, sausage, eggs, any kind of meat. For if you want steak and eggs, that's a good option. So any kind of meat that you prefer, if you want shrimp and eggs in the morning, I keep saying eggs because I believe eggs are the
Mm-hmm.
perfect nutrients, and they have the best just overall nutrient profile for protein and everything that you need. And I'm talking about the whole egg, not just the white part where we've been told all of these years. I like to see people at least get in 2 to 3 eggs every morning. Any kind of meat, whatever kind of meat you prefer. If you're doing lunch meat, it would be ones without monosodium glutamate, modified cornstarch, or maltodextrin and dextrose and all of that. A clean one. And then I know people are scared of nitrites. Nitrites are it's really, if you ever heard of nitroglycerin when a person is having a heart attack, it helps oxygen come to the lung. It's not even anything wrong with that. This is for educational purposes only. And then for lunch, I would also recommend like maybe a big salad.
Mm-hmm.
I always say like a Cobb salad or something like that with oil and vinegar. Now, what I don't do is snacking in the beginning. No snacking. So, no snacking ever. No snacks. So, and then dinner. Sometimes I really think that bringing beef in is a very big one, because beef has the red meat, and the oxygen that helps in the B12 and all the good stuff, the cartilage and all the things. So if it's ground beef, whatever kind of beef, red meat, and some type of vegetable, a green, for example, would be like beef with broccoli and cheese and real butter, a nice fatty meal to get you to sustain you. So
Yes.
that's that's kind of how I
And
would.
and that's why I mentioned, because we Caribbean people, we're always doing steamed cabbage, okra, green beans. So these are all things so you're really just reducing that carbs. And eventually I think people even on the weekends, right? Do you ever suggest people on the weekends like they can have a little bit of rice, or
I
don't you
don't.
ever come
I
back
don't.
to
I
it?
mean, there's something called resistance carbs, but I feel like if it's the thing that got you sick, like I wouldn't tell an alcoholic, just have a little
To
bit
go
of a
back.
drink. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
addictive. Like you never know. I mean, even I found myself, I'm just gonna have one little bite. I think I did something on my podcast recently. I'm gonna just have 2 chips, and it turned into 12, and I'm like itching all over the place and crazy. Like you think you have self control, but
Hmm.
don't play with the devil. Like you're gonna get bit. So leave that stuff alone. It's not necessary. And rice is empty calorie. Like,
Empty
what is it
calories.
for? Like, and then it's sprayed so much. And it
Hmm.
has so many chemicals and stuff on it. We get the bottom of the barrel when it comes to rice, because rice is used to make so many other things. So by
Hmm.
the time it gets to us, it's not even good rice, or corn for that matter. The corn and the
Just
rice is
sugar.
just it's not
Just
good.
sugar. Hmm.
So it's yeah, and yeah, once it hits your tongue, your
Hmm.
body brings out that amylase, it turns into sugar. Your body doesn't know. If you are trying to reverse insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, do what it takes, because doing these cheat meals and all that, I mean, yeah, go ahead, take it and take the shot. That's what Louis, and when we started out, Louis, you were like, yeah, now I know how much insulin I got to take for what I had, because he was wearing a continuous glucose monitor. I'm like, no, wait, we're not doing that. We want to reverse, right? So it's
Hmm.
so good that he is like, I'm off that insulin.
I
I haven't
love
been on it
it.
for a couple of days, and I didn't tell him to do that. Look, let's just
Mhm.
get that out there. Listen.
I know
But
he
Really?
yeah,
definitely he's been
yeah.
telling me, because we've been saying, Louis, you look so you're glowing and stuff, and what's going on? And he's been like, oh
Yes.
my God.
They noticing you, man.
Oh,
And
Yes.
yeah. For a couple
that's what
of
people say.
weeks, we have been
Mm.
saying, Louis, you are just looking so young and vibrant and with glow. I need it, Louis.
Amen.
And thank
Your wife gonna start locking you up in the house. All the women after you.
Yeah, I tell you. The belly gone, you know, the belly
Belly
gone.
is gone. I
Yes.
seen
Oh,
that.
Louis, I'm gonna get there too. No more rice for Arlene.
Oh, I'm telling you,
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. That's what all my clients tell me. My people are telling me I'm glowing. A lot of people want to see the scale drop and the scale drop. I said, if that scale don't never drop, how does your clothes fit? How do you feel? How, do you have clearer mind? Because some people have been so insulin resistance and they're insulin sensitive. They can see all the rest of these. The scale may not move, but they can tell they look good. They feel amazing and all of that, and the scale will move, but they're looking for these big drops. But at the end of the day, it's like, how do I feel? And that's
you.
the main thing. Like, tell me how you feel. Tell me something else. Write down what you couldn't do last 2 months
Right.
ago. I remember, Lewis, when we got together too, you said that you were at a point to where you were forgetting, like when you were driving. How
Yes,
dangerous is
yes,
that?
yes. That was.
What if he would have continued on that path?
Mhm.
Elaine wouldn't have been happy with you because now
No.
she got to
Right.
change your diapers because
You,
dementia didn't
the thing
set
is, when
in.
we start to do these research, right? I started researching it, and I mean, high insulin and inflammation as the leading cause of many chronic diseases such as Alzheimer's,
Hmm.
certain cancers,
Hmm.
diabetes type 2. I think we always just knew that one. Cardiovascular disease, dementia, digestive disorders, metabolic syndrome, obesity, different inflammatory diseases like lupus,
Hmm.
RA,
Right.
rheumatoid
Hmm.
arthritis. This is
Autoimmune.
Google, Crohn's disease. And again, for women, fibroids. Every other woman is having heavy cycles, fibroids. That's like, and hot flashes. I mean, you can't scroll through Facebook without an ad saying hot flash, and everybody's walking around with a little fan everywhere they go these
Hmm.
days.
And
So,
then it's probably connected to some type of medication because they want you to take a
yes,
medication.
men,
Yeah.
again, prostate health, seeing the foam in the urine, ED, all these different things that we had no clue.
Connected.
This little thing called high glucose and insulin resistance. And it took time. It didn't just develop, it took years and years and years. And our children are being diagnosed earlier because they grew up on sugar.
Yeah. That's another reason why I said, no, I got to do, because I mean, I'm seeing the patients in their homes, but then they bring little Johnny around the corner. Yeah, he was just diagnosed with prediabetes. What? Did they tell you what to do? Nope. I'm like, okay,
That's
this ain't
sad.
good. And then another one, little Sarah, she's diagnosed with fatty liver. What? And you don't know what to do? No, they didn't tell me what to do. I was putting together a program for a lady who asked me to actually help coach her son that was like 10, 11 years old because of this. And I'm like, this does not have to, but they're not where we as the healthcare providers are not educating,
Right.
but we don't know either
Right.
because we're not taught this in school where, doctors are given like one semester. I don't even think it's that of
Right.
nutrition, and
Right.
so you have to go learn for yourself. And this is what I've done. I mean, in my nutrition class back 20 years ago, I came into my class with Doritos and Mountain Dew and a honey bun. I
Yeah.
wrote about that in the book Sugar Deception and how, because I needed an afternoon pick me up. It was the last class of the day. I'm like, this will do. And about 5 minutes into class, I was asleep in the front row and I ain't learned nothing about nutrition. So even though I had nutrition class, I didn't learn, not in school, anyways.
Wow.
Probably a good thing because they were teaching me the wrong stuff. So,
And that's a good point, Tashawn, that a lot of our I think that the healthcare system is built on managing sickness. So we need to understand that.
yeah,
Managing sickness. So if you're all for
they
that, but
practice
if you,
medicine.
yeah, yeah. So if you want to be healthy, then you are going to have to be responsible, take accountability, um, do some research, and you can research all this stuff on yourself. Just research. Google will tell you what high glucose is and insulin resistance, and it'll recommend what types of food to stay away from. And it comes right back
Yeah.
to carbs. So what we're saying is
Sometimes,
with
yeah.
100, reduce carbs and sugar like drastically.
Yes.
Add protein, good protein, healthy fats.
Prioritize it. Eat those first.
Yes, olive oil, the avocados with your meals. So that's it. So again, switching out the rice, and Hispanic and Caribbean people. Oh my
Love
God. If you go
rice.
Yeah.
anywhere, do you know the plate of rice is like this
Yeah,
much?
yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Even
the
at Bravo. I gotta skip past it. Like, okay, I'm not gonna have none of that. Just give me the chicken.
rice.
Give me the pig feet. Give me something. I
And
don't
the
know. Give me
pastries.
that. Give me
Don't
the
talk about
oxtail.
the pastries, right?
Oh my gosh, right? Oof. With
Oh,
some of the things as we're going on these tours, we're doing our little sugar demonstration, and people are like, "What?" And it's amazing because we don't know what we don't know,
right.
Yes.
and it's we're bringing that knowledge and to have some doors open for us in even like assisted living homes and stuff like that to teach these things is amazing because that's one of the tours that we're going to go on. But it's to
I
be
want
able
to
to
come with
see.
you.
You want to come with me, Doc? You a doctor,
Sure.
Dr. Adam? Huh?
Yes, yes,
Yes, ma'am. Nice to meet you. Come on with me. Let's
yes,
let's stay in touch. Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Yes. We
Yeah.
need to, and even if you're new to learning this, you can always say, I'm new to learning this, but whatever you have to say. I have
Yeah.
a doctor that will be I have a doctor and a dietitian that's gonna be on these tours with us.
Nurse
But
doctor.
pardon me.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, nurse practice. Okay.
Nurse
Oh,
doctor.
doctor. Good. That's even better because you've been in the trenches with people. I prefer that type of doctor. So,
Okay.
yes, that's all right with me. Yes. Yeah, to go that route, I feel like it's the best route. So,
Mhm.
nah, that's good. That's good.
Good
Wow.
job.
Well,
Good
we
job.
definitely support you. We share whatever we see you doing. I think I met you on Facebook. I don't know how we connected because everybody's connected, but you were at the pumping gas or something, and you were liking what I was writing. Then and I'm like, reach out to her.
I
Yes.
thank you. Yes, because we need to get the word out. That's why I'm doing these tours, the
Lewis is
podcast.
sharing your book. What does it say, Lewis?
Uproot,
Reset the craving in you. Reset the craving in
Uproot the
you.
craving.
Uproot
Uproot the
uproot.
the
Where do I
craving.
find that? On Amazon?
It's on Amazon. My books are on Amazon. I also have a group, Health Beyond Weight Loss, here on Facebook, and insulin resistance, where we share a lot. So
Yes.
I have
And
my
it's only
cut.
what? $15?
I think that one's about $15. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody go out, purchase this book. It has some
Yeah.
great tips in it. And I also want to say before I go, everybody, if you're gonna try this, as Nurse David said, small step, do
Mhm.
one thing at a time, conquer one devil at a time, one duppy at a time, whatever you want to call it, one of them at a time, and
Right.
set small goals.
Yes.
What helped me is I set a 30-day goal. Let me see how my body is if I don't really put any sugar in it, anything sweet. Let me see how my body is if I don't pick up any fruits. Let me see how my body gonna be in 30 days if I don't drink any coffee. And you will know because you have made that commitment and that's your goal. Once you see those goals start to say, wait, well, my number different. I feel different. 30 days is good enough for you to see some change in the body temperature.
Praise
And
the
so
Lord.
I encourage everybody to do that intentionally. Just cut your eye off of the juice. Don't even look on the juice. Walk and turn your back to the juice. That way you don't even look on it. Right?
That's true.
And
That's just
you
sugar
will,
water.
yeah, and you will start loving your body, how it feel and how you feel. And that's number. If you're taking if you're pricking your finger to see your blood and your number, oh, this is for you. Because let me tell you, it is not an easy thing, and we want to get rid of it. Good job, though, my sister.
Thank you. Tashawn, tell us where we can find you.
Yes.
Everywhere.
That is true.
I'm on Facebook, Tashawn Davis, RN Health Coach. I have a Facebook group, Health Beyond Weight Loss, Insulin Resistance, and Metabolic Health. We are touring the Orlando area right now at the Alafaya Branch Library. We will be there this coming Sunday at 4 p.m. And then the 29th, we're going to be at Encore Assisted Living. And then the 15th, we're going to be at Encore Assisted Living from 2 to 4. But we'll be kicking off a 6-week metabolic intensive where we're going to walk with people for 6 weeks, the same people 6 weeks at a time, and really help people understand and reverse some of these things. Some of it's going to be beginning reversing, but we're going to get them a foundation. And I'm excited about that because it's nothing like seeing people get better. So
I'm
there,
excited
and then
about
my podcast is Health Beyond Weight Loss, and I have 30 episodes now. I've been doing it for 3 months, and it's the thing I've been most consistent with. I'm like, oh Lord, me.
Okay.
But I love it because I don't have to show my face on camera. So
that
it is.
pretty face ought to be seen.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I agree.
No,
I
it's
agree.
true.
Yes.
No,
But
I'm
not-
telling you, with that knowledge going out there, they need to see
See
that
you, yes,
this is
yes.
an
I'll be in person.
An Afro-American woman endowed with this knowledge.
Yes.
No. You show that pretty face everywhere.
No,
And
the
I'm
smile.
so much
Yes.
because
And the smile.
I have
Yeah.
never used to
Thank
eat
you.
rice. And all of a sudden, my brother came to live with us. And what is this that Arlene does take it on? Look at my belly. So I am on a new start.
Amen.
Listen, get in touch with me. I'll help you walk through it. All the
Can I
free
have
stuff,
your
though.
number? Can I have your number?
You want my number?
Yes.
Oh, 321.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
I can send it to
yeah,
you.
give
I
it
can
to
send
him,
it to you.
because
Tashawn,
I may or may not answer that phone. It's like it may be at the
Right.
bottom of my purse somewhere.
Okay, Donna, please send it to me.
Yeah.
I need my coach.
Oh,
Of
and also
course.
healthbeyondweightloss.com. Healthbeyondweightloss.com. That's where you can find my programs and you can register right away. Right now for the metabolic intensive, there's $100 off until Friday. The last time it'll be that low. My coaching program to reverse type 2 diabetes is $6,400 for 6 months. You can get this right now for the 6-week intensive and learn pretty much almost the same thing for $397. And you only have to put $79 down. You only have to put $79 down. So I would catch it if I was you, because Sunday is going up, but only $100. It's still very, very cheap, but it's just to get it out there.
Yeah. Tashawn, hopefully you can enter the school. I think the school system needs you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So once we prove our concept.
All of the church need her too. Everyone.
Our church needs you.
Once I prove do my prototype at the assisted living, we'll bring the program to each place. But yeah, so however that looks. But I'm right now available to do talks anywhere, even if it's a one-day thing. I'll come. Okay. So whether it's your job, we do corporate things, whether it's the church, whether it's the schools, if you can get me in there to speak, I'll speak, and I do demos. It's very interactive.
That's nice.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Lewis?
Guys, I got to run. It's been a pleasure. Hey, nurse.
Thank you. Congratulations, Lewis. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. We'll keep up the good work. As I said before, I do it for my grandkids, right? Remember?
We had that conversation. We had to have a deep conversation.
Yes, and we sure did. And my goal is to live for them as long as I can live. I want to live out my wife, and my wife should live me out. We're just going to live out each other. And that's
I love that.
Praise the
You
Lord.
ain't done. I'm done. You ain't done.
hey,
Ain't going nowhere.
man. All right, guys.
All
Thank you
right,
so
everyone.
much.
Thank you.
Donna,
Bye.
Deja,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
Great
you everyone for
show.
listening. I hope that you have been empowered, enlightened,
Yes.
and informed with this information to make a change in your lifestyle.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes,
So
indeed.
we definitely want to thank Nurse Davis for joining us. And until next week, God bless everyone.
God bless everyone.
And have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. God bless.
God bless. Thank you, Donna. Awesome.